Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is prophecy in the news, and of course, that's what we're trying to do here at the Prophecy Club, is to say that prophecy is not just in the Bible, but it's actually in the news. It's in our world today. The first topic comes to us from Whiting, Illinois. BP Refinery in Whiting burns, energy emergency declared. Now, this is actually a big deal. I've got probably 3 or 4 different articles that is basically saying the same thing. This just happens to be the first one around across. Essentially, the U.S. Department of Transportation has declared a regional emergency, not regional, but this is for 4 states: Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, after a fire shut down the BP Oil Refinery in Whiting, Indiana, the largest in the Midwest, though there hasn't been an impact on gas prices so far. Okay, hang on. Do you recall, if you've been listening to us for a while, there's 110 food processing plants that have been burned or destroyed or blown up or something like that, all in the last 12 months? I'm telling you, it's not an accident. There are people in high places, the Moloch and Baal worshipers, the 1% that own the 99% out there, that are trying to destroy America. Why? Why destroy America? Because America is the wall that stands between them and their new world order. The wall that stands between them putting their man, the Antichrist, on the throne, where he sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So they're doing everything they can to destroy America. Now, they've been doing this slowly and quietly and discreetly in the background, in my opinion, until DJT came on the scene. And then he basically openly declared war against them, though I don't think he understood what he was really doing. He was doing a lot of the right things. And now they are angry. They're angry with a fury to destroy this nation. The article goes on to say, I believe 25% of the fuel from Michigan comes from that facility. He says this could make things interesting. No, it could make things start falling apart. Okay, so let's back up just a second. We've got the container ships off of the West Coast. We've got container ships off the Chinese coast. Some of them, many of them, I've got any late reports on it, but last check, they were not moving. Then we also have the DEF, the diesel exhaust fluid, that has been shut down. The railroads say that they're not going to be moving as much of their material anymore, and there's a possibility, I think it's September the 18th, that there's a possibility that the railroads could shut down. So what we're seeing are a lot of the signs that says the tribulation's here. Now, I do not think, I've been wrong before though, but I do not think that the tribulation has started yet. But these are signs that if it's not started yet, it's getting real close. The article goes on to say the shutdown comes at an inopportune time, just ahead of the harvest, in much of the Midwest, and U.S. gasoline supplies are at their lowest August levels since 2015. The Whiting Refinery is a major storage place for crude oil used to make gasoline, and it normally turns out about 435,000 barrels a day. There's a lot of articles talking about this, but here's the thing. Out of the 110 food processing plants that have been destroyed over the last 12 months, how many arrests have there been? Now, I haven't researched it, but I think you already know. The answer is 0. How many arrests happened on this? It's just a mysterious thing. Nobody did. Okay, well, that's what they're all. Why? Because they have technology. And I think it's probably scalar wave. Scalar wave can destroy anything in the air, on the land, on the sea, under the sea, any place on the globe, anytime they want to. It can knock birds out in flight, and they're dead before they hit the ground. It can take out missiles, airplanes, submarines. And also start fires. It's the perfect weapon because they don't know where it comes from. You see, it doesn't go A, B, C, D, E, F. It goes A, F. It's interdimensional. It's like it's supernatural. And they probably don't even know where it's located, where it's transmitted, where it's originated from. Probably someplace down under the earth, someplace who knows where. But it's the perfect weapon. And it could be starting fires, floods, hurricanes, and destroying our gasoline supplies. And these people can absolutely shut the nation down. USAA News says 2 more fertilizer plants in Europe shut down due to high gas prices. No energy means no food. A pair of fertilizer production facilities in Poland have reportedly closed their doors, at least temporarily, because of the exorbitant cost of natural gas and other fuels. Now, that's a different thing. But the point is that there's a lot of things in our world that are just not working right now. Q phones are coming, this article says. Say goodbye to your old phone. We've talked about that. Matter of fact, my cell phone right here. My granddaughter on it. I believe, not this cell phone, but a future cell phone, and I think this can confirm what I'm about to say here. They're going to come out with a new phone. We've been talking about this for, 3 years? New phone. And you won't be able to put these little backings on it, and the fingerprint system, as you touch it, front and back, is always active. The camera is always active. The voice is always active. You cannot turn it off. And this uplinks to your quantum financial account through the quantum financial computer that the Starlink satellites, low Earth orbiting satellites, they plan to put like 34,000 of them up. And so they're no man buy or sell. So I don't know. I don't think we're in the tribulation yet. But boy, is it getting close. The article says Q phones are already developed and manufactured in Germany. We've got this from probably a year and a half ago. Another article said that they've already made 7 billion of these phones. Well, why? Because it's already in their plan. The United Kingdom, with the final software upgrade in the United States, this smartphone is 3-dimensional and of the highest quality. It doesn't tell what the 3-dimensional is, but I'll tell you what I think it is. It's always taking your fingerprint, your voice print, and your face print. Always. Always. Can't turn it off. It will become one of the main tools for direct credit and expenditures. It's saying it right here. It's going to say it so that if you buy or sell on the planet, you will use that future cell phone. You will use it. And if you don't want to use it, you don't buy or sell. Everything is... Now, I've had somebody else email me and say, well, what about gold and silver? I think that the gold and silver is never going to go away as a medium of exchange. And I know a lot of people quote that verse, well, they'll cast their gold and silver into the streets. Yeah, well, that is speaking of the day Jesus returns, the day of Armageddon. So up until Armageddon, gold and silver is always going to be a good thing to have. Look, you pull up to get gas, you want to have a few silver coins. You need to buy your way out of the country. You need to buy an airline flight. You need to buy a new piece of transportation. That's where you want to have a gold coin. And, of course, we'll send you to CornerStoneAssetMetals.com. CornerStoneAssetMetals.com. They love Prophecy Club people. Let's go on. It'll be one of the main tools for direct credit expenditures in daily life. For consumer, retail, and business commerce domestically and, here it is, internationally. Costs may increase as 7 billion. See, it says right here. Again, this is the second article saying this. 7 billion Q phones will be dispersed to all people on Earth. I'll read that again. Cost may increase as 7 billion Q phones will be distributed to all the people on Earth. Now, my guess is they might not cost anything. How can they charge you? Now, okay, in the beginning, they may start off charging. But it's just like in the, how do I say this? Should I say this? When the devil wants to do something, he makes it free. But a lot of times they'll start off, like they started off with, that thing, the anti-V? They started off, and that was, only the best people in the world got that, or there was charges. And then before long, they're giving it away. Before long, they're requiring you to take it. The QFS will create its own internet that will work off its trinary code and perhaps a G8 network for SATCOM. That's not the way it's going to work. The reason they're putting up Starlink right now, Elon Musk and all of that, the reason they're putting that up is because that Q phone, this is not the Q phone, but the Q phone will connect through Starlink any place on the globe. Now, I believe You say, okay, well, you're saying you have to go outside so you can see a phone. Well, again, those are low Earth orbiting satellites, and they will also be linked into all of the Wi-Fi. Look, I mean, everything in your house is going to be linked together to this one global system. Your refrigerator, your air conditioning system, your TV, your stereo, everything in your home will have Wi-Fi connected to it. Just like right now, my TV has Wi-Fi. When you buy the TV, matter of fact, the little box that sits under the TV, you know, these days they don't put very much in the way of speakers and TVs. You got to buy the sound bar. Well, the sound bar is connected to the internet. The TV is connected to the internet, but the way they're heading is everything in your home will be connected to the internet. And the internet is going to be Starlink, and at the head of that is going to be a quantum computer that was given to us by benevolent extraterrestrial galactics, or aliens, or what we call them, demons, or the fallen ones. So this Q phone, this can be a big problem. This is going to be, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, receive a mark on the right hand or in the forehead, and that no man might buy or sell unless he has a Q phone. See what I'm saying? Rolling blackouts begin in Europe. Not enough gas to generate electric. Now, again, why are they doing this? They're not trying to just destroy America. They want to bring the whole world into their new system. And they have a sign called Ordo out of chaos, or Ordo ab chaos. That's the Latin for it, order out of chaos. Means if there's nothing wrong with it, don't fix it. So what they have to do is first, they have to break the old system, which is largely based upon the Bible, to bring in their new system, which is a novus ordo seclorum, which is a new order secular, or a new world without God. So when we're seeing electric not being generated, yes, okay, we understand what's going on, okay. Europe didn't support Ukraine, and they went against Russia. So Russia said, okay, you're going to cut us off from the dollar? We're going to cut you off from your gas? Oh, you know you won't either. Oh, yes, they have, and they are. Rolling blackouts have begun in Kosovo because the country cannot find enough supply of natural gas from the Russians to keep power plants running at full capacity. Other European countries from UK, Bulgaria are also developing plans to cut off electricity also. The reason? These countries imposed economic sanctions on Russia over the special military operation in Ukraine. And as a result of their own sanctions, they shot themselves in the foot. These countries now refuse to buy Russian oil and natural gas, or more specifically, Russia's refusing to sell it to them. I remember when DJT went over there, he told them, what are you guys doing? Buying this gas and oil from the Russians. You need to be buying this stuff from America. And they wouldn't listen. Now, but they wish they'd listened. Putin signs decree to increase the size of Russia's military by 137,000 troops. The decree will not take effect immediately. It is set to take effect January 1. Well, that's only a few months off. And the decree stresses that 137,000 new troops will all be soldiers and won't include support personnel. It means he's really going to be getting more than 137,000. My guess is, I'm not a military guy here, but my guessing is we're probably going to come pretty close to another 137,000 of non-military, non-soldier material, meaning they're probably going to come up with a ballpark around 250,000 new people in their military. Why? Why would they do that? Oh, because they want to make certain that they're safe. No, because there is an agenda. I don't think the Russians know right now, whoever's leading Russia, if it's not Putin, whoever it is, I don't think they know right now that one day they will attack and defeat America in 1 hour. I don't think they know that. But God does. So God is preparing them to take out America. Why? Like Revelation 18:1 says, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Why? For she saith in her heart, I said a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. So because America, that was once a Christian nation, has fallen away, has walked away from him, and has chosen the devil and his evil. As a result, God says, okay, it's reached the point to where it's more evil than it is good. Take it out. So to me, this says that Russia is preparing, though they may not know it yet, they're preparing to one day attack and defeat America. There's probably some of them that do know it. U.S. now pulling guns and ammo from active duty units to send to Ukraine. The devil is alive, isn't he? United States military seems to be in a process of being deliberately disarmed so weapons and ammunition can be sent to Ukraine. Even special forces units have been instructed to turn in some rifles. Okay, so, yeah, again, I'm going to say it again. I know there's some good people in Ukraine. But I also know that Ukraine is the center of pedophilia. It is the center of sex trafficking, human trafficking. It has all kinds of, from some sources I couldn't dare name them, has all kinds of tunnels underneath the thing. It is the center of evil more so than Switzerland. Most of the evil, most of the Moloch and Baal worshippers got their start in Ukraine. Ukraine is more Nazi than Germany ever was. Again, I know there's some good people in Ukraine, but that's what's really going on. So America is taking our weapons away and giving them to, well, it's going to fall in the hands of the Russians. These are the kind of things that you see in a nation that it's in its free fall. And America is in a free fall right now. Whoa, 41% of physical gold pulled from Chicago Mercantile Exchange, kilo vaults in one day. 41%? These are the kind of things that take place before some kind of a big war. They start moving gold around. They start moving assets around. It's not the kind of thing that takes place in a time of peace. I heard it once said that in a time of peace, fathers are buried by their son. But in a time of war, fathers bury their sons. Probably have to play that back again to catch that. This is another sign that we're getting very close to a war. We may not have very many more years. See, the thing that starts the tribulation, Revelation 6:1, I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder. And I heard one of the four beasts saying to me, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a white horse. And he sat upon him, had a bow, and a crown was given to him. He went forth conquering and to conquer. Now, that is an angel of the Lord being sent out to start war. I saw when he opened the second seal, and the second beast said, come and see. And I went out another horse that was red, and powers given him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another. To him was given a great sword. Those first four horsemen there are angels of the Lord. Of course, I know people have all kinds of ideas what they really are, but here's the question that'll answer it for you. Does God give crowns to demons? Does God give crowns to demons? The answer is no. Okay, so the white horse was given a crown. That means he's an angel of God. So those first four horsemen there are angels from God sent to bring trouble to people on the earth. It's judgment. So as we look at those, we look at these articles here and we're saying, getting close, and it is getting close. Invasion. 4.9 million illegal aliens entered the U.S. since Biden have been elected. There's a scripture that says, and I will fill her with men as with caterpillars. I'll fill her with men as with caterpillars. And I believe that's in Jeremiah 50 or 51. Go check it out. In other words, our southern border being so open is another sign God is bringing America down. The article says, illegal immigration into Europe and the U.S. is a specific policy of the Trilateral Commission. That's your world government people. That's your Moloch and Baal worshippers that are trying to bring in their man on the throne. Trilateral Commission, the rebirth technocracy in 1973. The late Peter Sutherland said, no other force, not trade, not capital flows, here it is, has the potential to transform, or I would say to destroy nations in suitable positive ways on the scale that immigration does. So he's not talking about just changing a nation, he's talking about destroying a nation. He almost single-handedly broke Europe through invasion from the Middle East. In 2012, BBC reported the EU should determine national homogeneity, says UN migration chief. He created the Global Migration Forum and told 160 nations that the future prosperity of the EU states depended on multiculturalism. That's a lie. Okay, in other words, if you're going to continue as a nation, you've got to mix your races and mix your religions. Why? What we're really doing is we're bringing in people inside the nation to destroy our nation. That's exactly what's happening. The good guys want to own. See, it used to be that America allowed people to come in if they were like persecuted. And it used to be that if a church wanted to have somebody come in, no problem. If you're sponsored by a church, come right on in. Easy. If you've been persecuted, come on in. It's like churches now have moved to the back of the line. These illegal aliens that are coming into our nation are one day going to be the people. Remember, Dimitri said the fall of America will start with an internal revolution in America started by the communists. Some of the people will start fighting against the government. These illegal aliens will probably be some of the people. They might be some of the people that the IRS is going to be hiring. I understand that the IRS is now setting up a sniper school for their 87,000 agents that they're going to be arming. Why? Why would they do that? Well, obviously, they think that something is going to go on that is going to make the average person out there, the average American, angry enough to pick up a shooting iron. So they're getting ready. Article goes on to say Sutherland was head of the European branch of the Trilateral Commission, former chairman of BP and the chairman of Goldman Sachs International. In other words, he's part of the Moloch guys. He's part of the 1% that owns 99%. Falling military recruitment is another sign of waning faith in the regime, because a lot of parents say, I don't want you going to the military. I don't want to give my son or my daughter to go out and die for this nation, as sinful as this nation is. That's what a lot of them are saying. In fact, recruitment prospects are so grim that 2022 is looking to be the worst recruiting year for the Army since 1973, when the U.S. military transitioned to an all-volunteer, non-scripted force. The days of the post-9/11 surge in enlistments are long gone. And noted for 2 lost wars in recent years, the U.S. military now faces a new environment of declining public support. Moreover, with its recent drive to showcase its commitment to so-called woke policy. Now, would they allow us to go through and say everybody got to have a King James Bible, everybody got to start attending church? Well, see, that's what the woke policy really is, except for it's pushing them the other way. It's pushing them away from God, pushing them away from kindness and love and consideration. Stop weaponizing the weather. 6 rare 1 in 1,000-year rain events slammed the U.S. within a month. And it's not about to stop now. On July 26th, 9 inches of rain fell in 24 hours in St. Louis, shattering an all-time record with over a foot of rain measured in some suburbs. This is scalar wave. 2 days later, dozens died in eastern Kentucky when more than 10 inches of rain fell, sending rivers rising several feet in hours to well beyond historical record crests and washing away homes near the shores. That same week, the normally arid Death Valley had a year's worth of rainfall in 3 hours, swamping the region with floodwaters that shut down every road inside the national park, some suffering moderate to severe damage. As August began, another heavy rain event drenched southern Illinois with radar estimates of 10 to 13 inches of rain in just hours. Just this week, the DFW Metroplex area suffered widespread flooding as 3 inches of rain fell in an hour, part of the series of the thunderstorms that would drop more than 9 inches on the DFW International Airport in 24 hours, with some suburbs in eastern Dallas reporting more than 15 inches of rain. Not to be outdone, some areas of Mississippi saw more than 8 inches of rain in only 3 hours on Wednesday, yet, as we see all of this, the western United States is drying up and blowing away. Lake Mead, Lake Powell are near to catastrophic phase is what they're saying. All 6 extreme events reached the local threshold to be classified by the National Weather Service as a 1 in 1,000 year rainfall event. Yet, all occurred within the same month, much less a millennium. Now, here's the interesting part. So what is a 1 in 1,000 year event? Well, the term 1 time in 1,000 years rainfall, what may sound like something that only forecast to occur once every 1,000 years, and that you'd experience such an event. However, the term is given to an event that forecasters deem only to have a 0.1% chance of occurring in a given year, a 1 in 1,000 year chance. At a 0.5% chance is deemed 1 in a 500 year event. In other words, what are the chances we're going to have 6 1 in 1,000 year events? And it's not even a whole year yet. We're talking about just a few months. What are the chances? I'm telling you, they are trying to shut down America. They're shutting down our food. They're going to be poisoning our water. They are shutting off our rain. We're in big trouble, which is why, by the way, I'm calling people to the Solemn September Assembly. Solemn September Assembly. Go to prophecyclub.com to get all of the details. September 24th at 10:32 is when we're going to be blowing shofars. It starts at 9:30. 24th at 9:30, shofars blow at 10:32, and then it concludes that evening at 10 o'clock. prophecyclub.com to find out more about it. I actually cooked this loaf of bread you're seeing here. Takes me about 10 minutes to put the ingredients together, put it into a bread machine, push a button, 2 hours, 20 minutes later, I get a loaf of bread out like that. And if I eat a slice in the morning and the afternoon, I'm satisfied. So on that basis, one loaf can sustain, I didn't say it's everything we want, can sustain one person for a week. Based upon that, it'll get you excellent nutrition. It tastes good, long storage life, 10 minutes to combine the ingredients, 2 hours, 20 minutes to make it. But at Joseph's Kitchen, they send it out in 100 mil thick buckets. Gives you long shelf life. It's stackable. It's nitrogen infuses that hopefully gives it much longer shelf life, kills bugs and things like that. Easily resealable. Keep in a climate-controlled area. So here's what you want to do. Everybody needs to get a machine package. These are the things that you need to grind the wheat berries. Put them into a grinder. 30 seconds later, you have flour. You put that into the bread machine along with 6 other ingredients. Push a button. 2 hours, 20 minutes later, you have a nice hot loaf of whole wheat bread. Then you have to decide how much food you want. You want food 2 people 1 year, 4 people 1 year, 6 people 1 year. And if you want to make certain you have it when the electricity goes down, you can also get yourself a solar generator, all at josephskitchen.com. josephskitchen.com.